The man reaching for the $89 drill and the man reaching for the $329 drill are, at that moment, handing their money to the same corporation. Neither one of them knows it. There is nothing printed on either box that would tell them. Same store, same aisle, 3 cordless hammer drill kits hanging within a few feet of one another. Milwaukee, $329. Ridgid, $170.05. Ryobi, $89. 3 badges, 3 price tiers, 1 owner standing behind all 3. What nobody at that end cap knows is that the gap between those tags is not a quality gap. It is a paperwork gap. Start with one number because it explains that aisle to you better than the price tags do. 2 replacement batteries for that Milwaukee kit sell as a pair for $299 at Ohio Power Tool as of today, the 29th of July, 2026. $299 for 2 batteries. That is more than the entire Ryobi kit hanging 8 feet away. Drill and battery and charger all in. The drill was never the expensive part of owning a drill. You already know the tool I am talking about. The one in your truck box. The one you grabbed on a Saturday because the old one gave up halfway through a deck, and you stood in that aisle doing the same arithmetic every working man does. What does the extra $200 buy me? And nobody at that register was ever going to tell you what it actually bought. The same company sat down 3 separate times and decided how much of your money it wanted for each badge, and what it would promise you in writing in return. The 3 answers it wrote down are nothing alike, and the difference between them is worth more to you over a working life than any speck on the side of the box. So here is what I am going to do with the next 20 minutes. I am going to lay out who owns each of those 3 badges using company filings and warranty pages you can pull up yourself. I am going to fix a date that almost everybody in this argument gets wrong, because if you get it wrong, the first man in the comments takes the whole thing apart. Along the way, I am going to settle where these tools are actually made, because it decides one line of the arithmetic. And then I am going to work out loud and on screen, what each one of those 3 drills costs you per year to own. One of the 3 comes out so far ahead that it should change what goes in your cart this weekend, and it is not the one you would guess. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 1924. That is where and when the company began, and Milwaukee Tool says so on its own company page today. For 71 years after that, it was an American company making tools in an American city, and that is the version of the story most of us are carrying around in our heads. Now here's where the internet gets it wrong, and I want to be precise about it. You will hear men say that Milwaukee stopped being American in 2005 when a Hong Kong company bought it. That is wrong, and it is wrong by a decade. Milwaukee left American hands in 1995 when Atlas Copco, the Swedish industrial group, bought Milwaukee Electric Tool for around $550 million. That year and that figure come from the trade publication Rental Equipment Register, reporting on Atlas Copco's own decision to sell the business years later. So by the time anybody in Hong Kong was involved, the brand had already been Swedish for 10 years. Atlas Copco never made a secret of why it let go. In its announcement of the sale, the company said that the synergies in distribution, manufacturing, and product development between the electric tool business and its other businesses were limited. Read that in plain English. Atlas Copco sells compressors and industrial equipment to industrial customers. Milwaukee sells drills to a man in a store. Those are 2 different trades that happen to sit inside one company, and after 10 years, the parent decided it did not want the store side anymore. Then, on the 3rd of January 2005, Atlas Copco announced it had completed the sale of its electric tool business to Techtronic Industries. That is Atlas Copco's own press release in its own newsroom with its own numbers. The net price was $664 million, and the deal carried both Milwaukee and the AEG brand out the door together. $664 million is a number with no scale to it until you set it next to the shelf. At $329 a kit, that is about 2 million of the hammer drills we started with. 2 million kits for the name. Techtronic tells the same story from its side. Milwaukee Tool's own company page, the one on its own website right now, says it in one sentence. In 2005, Techtronic Industries acquired Milwaukee. I went looking on that page for 3 words. That same company page walks you through 100 years of history, and the words Atlas Copco appear nowhere in the story it tells. Neither does Sweden, neither does 1995. A whole decade of foreign ownership, right in the middle of the story, and it is not on the page at all. The version the company tells you steps straight from the old Milwaukee to the new one. Nobody lied. A history page is allowed to be short, but when a company chooses which 10 years to leave out, that choice tells you what it thinks you would rather not sit with. So that is badge number 1. Techtronic Industries owns Milwaukee outright and has since the 3rd of January 2005. Badge number 2 is stranger, and you can prove it yourself in about 10 seconds. Go to Ryobi's American website and scroll to the very bottom of any page. In small gray letters, it says that Ryobi is a trademark of Ryobi Limited and is used by TTI, Consumer Power Tools Incorporated, under a license granted by Ryobi Limited. Read that line twice. Techtronic does not own the Ryobi name. It rents it from a Japanese company and puts it on tools it builds and sells here, and it is no side project. In its own 2025 results, Techtronic calls Ryobi the #1 consumer cordless tool brand on earth. Its About Us page lists the brand as headquartered in Greenville, South Carolina, and Milwaukee's Global Research and Development as headquartered in Brookfield, Wisconsin. So one badge is owned and run out of Wisconsin, the other is rented from Japan and run out of South Carolina, and both of them report up to the same board. Now open the warranty document on that Ryobi site, the one for 18-volt power tools. It is not written by anybody in Japan. It is written by One World Technologies Incorporated of Anderson, South Carolina, and that is the company that stands behind your Ryobi drill. Hold on to that name. Badge number 3 is the one almost nobody has straight. Ridgid. Go to the main Ridgid website, the one with the pipe wrenches and the threading machines, and scroll to the bottom. The copyright line reads, "In full, 2026 Emerson Electric Company. All rights reserved." Ridgid sits inside what that site calls Emerson's professional tools portfolio, alongside Greenlee and Clock. Emerson owns the Ridgid name, but the orange cordless drill on the Home Depot shelf lives on a different website altogether, with a different copyright holder, and it is sold at one retailer, Home Depot, and nowhere else. And when you go to that site to register the tool, and you read the fine print about what happens if the tool turns out to be defective, it tells you to contact One World. That is the same name from the Ryobi warranty, Anderson, South Carolina. So the trail runs like this, and every step of it is on a company's own page. One corporation owns Milwaukee. That corporation licenses the Ryobi name from Japan. Emerson owns the Ridgid name, and the cordless line under it is built and serviced by the same outfit in South Carolina that handles Ryobi. 3 badges, 3 price tiers, 1 set of hands on all of them. And that corporation is not small. Techtronic Industries was founded in 1985. It trades on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and it employs more than 48,000 people worldwide. Those figures are on its own About Us page. Its audited results for 2025, announced in Hong Kong in March of 2026, report record sales of $15.3 billion and a net profit of $1.2 billion. That is round 1 of what you need. Here is round 2, and this is where it starts costing you money. In those same audited results, Techtronic reports a gross profit margin of 41.2%. Sit with that for a second because it explains the aisle. Whether you reach for the orange one, the green one, or the red one, you are buying from a business that reports one blended margin across a lot of them. The 3 price tiers are not 3 companies competing for your money. They are 3 doors into the same building, and each door is priced to catch a different kind of man. The same report says the Milwaukee business grew 7.9% in the year, and the Ryobi business grew 5.4%. Both doors are working. It also reports close to $1.4 billion in free cash flow, a 3rd straight year above $1.2 billion, and a board that intends to buy back up to $500 million of its own shares. That is the picture from the top of the building. Every video on this channel does the same 2 things. It names who owns the badge, and then it works out what that badge costs you per year. If that is worth having, go ahead and subscribe. By this point, there is a man watching who has already lived the ending. If you have had a battery pack die on you the week after the paper ran out, or if you registered a tool years ago and got a free replacement in the mail. That is the story the rest of the guys watching need to hear, more than they need to hear it from me. Now, before the next part, I want to head off a feeling, because if you have been buying the red drills for 20 years, it is about to show up. You were not foolish, not even a little. The man who paid $329 because Milwaukee had never let him down was reading the only evidence he had. That tool is excellent. It is well built, it is well supported, and the guys who swing it all day are not wrong about how it feels in the hand. None of that is in question here. What nobody handed you at the register was the second page, the one with the batteries on it, and you cannot be blamed for not reading a page you were never given. By the middle of this year, that picture from the top of the building had a matching picture down at the aisle, and it is the part nobody at that register will walk you through. The 3 badges do not just carry 3 prices. They carry 3 different promises about the one component that decides what a cordless tool costs you. The motor in a modern cordless drill will outlive the man who bought it, more often than not. The battery will not. And when the pack goes, the tool goes with it, because that pack only fits that platform. So the real question is never what the drill costs, it is what the batteries cost, and who pays for them. Milwaukee's answer from its own registration and warranty page: 5 years on most M18 cordless power tools, and 3 years on the standard M18 lithium-ion battery packs. That is a good, honest industry normal warranty. In year 4, the battery is yours. The same page shows how fine these lines get drawn. On certain older M18 packs, the coverage ran on a charge count, not a calendar. The first 1,000 charges, or 2 years, whichever came first, got you a free replacement. After that, the remaining charges up to 2,000, or the balance of 5 years, were covered on a pro rata basis, meaning you paid a share. Somebody sat in a room and decided a battery is worth 1,000 free charges. That is the level this is being run at. Ryobi's answer from that one world warranty document: 3 years on the tool, 3 years on the batteries, 90 days on accessories. There is also a 90-day exchange window at the front, where you can take a tool that is not working right back to the dealer and swap it, and the replacement carries the balance of the original 3 years. That part is fair and it is clear. And then one line that almost no one gets to: this warranty applies only to the original purchaser at retail and may not be transferred. Sell the drill, hand it to your son-in-law, and the paper stops meaning anything. Ridgid's answer is where it gets strange. Every Ridgid power tool comes with an automatic 3-year limited warranty, same neighborhood as the other 2. But then Emerson's own Ridgid site says this, and I am quoting it word for word: register your tools within 90 days to receive free batteries, free parts, and free service for life. Free batteries for life. Same aisle, same parent behind the badge. 3 answers to one question, and the third one is not playing the same game. Now the arithmetic, out loud, no hiding. I am going to use a 10-year working life because that is honest for a drill a man uses on weekends and the occasional side job, and I am going to assume 1 battery replacement in that decade, at the halfway mark. That assumption is mine, and I am telling you it is mine. Everything else is a fetched price from today. Milwaukee first. The kit is $329. 1 replacement pair of high output packs is $299. Add them, and you have spent $628 over 10 years. Divide by 10, $62.80 a year. Ryobi next. The kit is $89. A replacement pair with a charger runs $137.75 on Ryobi's own website today. That is $226.75 over 10 years. Divide by 10, just under $23 a year. That leaves the orange one, and I am going to hold its number back. 1 line of that arithmetic cannot be filled in until we settle a question this whole argument keeps tripping over. So we settle it, and then I finish the sum. And before anybody types it, no, I am not telling you a Ryobi drill and a Milwaukee drill are the same tool. The Milwaukee has more in it, and it shows on a hard day. What I am telling you is what the 3 of them cost to own, and those are 2 different questions, and only one of them is ever printed on the tag. The fairest objection to all of that is that Milwaukee builds tools in this country, and it deserves an honest hearing. It is true, and it is no small thing. Milwaukee Tool's own announcement lays it out. $60 million in manufacturing equipment, 1,200 new jobs, 800 of them at a new plant in Grenada, Mississippi, and 400 more across Greenwood, Olive Branch, and Jackson. The company says United States manufacturing has been and will continue to be a critical part of its global footprint. But that announcement covers accessories in the power tool business. It does not say the drill in this video comes out of Mississippi, so I went to the one page that could settle it, Milwaukee's own product page for that kit. No country of origin anywhere on it. Then the Ryobi kit page and the Ridgid kit page, both today, the 29th of July. Same answer all 3 times. Not one of those 3 pages names a country at all. That silence is a choice made under a federal rule, under Title 16 of the Code of Federal Regulations, Section 323.2, which you can read at the Cornell Legal Information Institute. Nothing can be labeled made in the United States unless final assembly happens here, all significant processing happens here, and all or virtually all components are made and sourced here. That is a high bar for anything with a lithium-ion pack in it, which is why the safest thing to print about origin is nothing at all. None of it changes what the tool costs you to keep. What changes that is who pays for the next pair of batteries. That is the line I left blank. So now I can finish the sum, and the answer comes with it. Now the orange one. The kit is $170.05. The replacement batteries, if the tool was registered inside 90 days, are 0, not discounted, 0. So the 10-year number is $170.05 divided by 10, which is about $17 a year. $17 a year against 63 on the same aisle out of the same house. The badge that costs a working man the least to own out of those 3 is Ridgid. Not because the tool is the best on the shelf, it is not, and the Milwaukee outruns it. And not because it is cheapest at the register. The Ryobi is half its price. It wins because it is the only one of the 3 where the part that always dies is not your problem. And the longer you keep it, the wider it gets. Run the same arithmetic over 20 years instead of 10, with 3 battery replacements instead of 1, the way a tool in a working truck gets used. The Milwaukee comes to $61.30 a year. The Ryobi, which looked so close a minute ago, goes up to about $25 a year because every pair of packs is another $137 out of your pocket. And the Ridgid drops to about $8.50 a year because after the day you bought it, that line never gets touched again. $8.50 a year on a tool you can hand to somebody 20 years from now. There is one more thing in that agreement worth knowing because it is the part that makes it usable instead of theoretical. Under what the company calls its Service Direct program, you ship the tool or the battery back with a shipping label they provide and it comes back to you. In their words, in as little as 14 days, with no service center trip at all. And if you do not have internet at the house, there is a mail-in route. You send your name, address, phone number, the model and serial numbers of every serialized piece in the box, batteries and charger included, and a copy of the receipt to a post office box in Anderson, South Carolina. Anderson, South Carolina, the same town on the Ryobi warranty. 1 building, 3 badges, and it turns out the same address will send you free batteries for life or nothing at all, depending on which box you carry to the register. Now I am going to be as hard on the winner as I was on the other 2, because this only works if you do the one thing. Register within 90 days of the purchase date and keep the receipt. That is not a suggestion, it is the whole deal. The Ridgid registration site says it in plain language. You submit your proof of purchase for validation within 90 days of the date of purchase. Miss it and you are back to the same 3-year warranty everybody else has, and the entire advantage is gone. Second thing, the free battery coverage attaches to the batteries that came in the kit. That same site lists what does not qualify, and accessory batteries and chargers bought on their own are on that list. So if you go buy a spare pack off the peg later, that spare is not covered. Buy the kit, register the kit. Third thing, and it is the one that bites people, if they replace a tool or a battery under the agreement, the replacement carries a new serial number, and you have to register that one too, within 90 days or the coverage stops following you. So the whole verdict fits on the back of a receipt. Buy the kit, not the bare tool. Register it in 90 days. Keep the paper. Re-register anything they send you. Do that, and one of the 3 badges on that aisle stops charging you rent on your own drill. As of today, that registration page is still open, and it is still 90 days. None of this makes Techtronic a villain in a black hat. It is a company doing what a company on a stock exchange does, which is to price the same aisle 3 ways and see which door a man walks through. The part that never made it onto any of the 3 boxes is that all 3 doors open into the same building. You have that now, and you have the numbers that go with it. Buy once, register once, cry never. And if you want the other half of this, the wrenches and sockets on the next aisle over play by a different set of rules, and the honest American names left on that wall make a list shorter than it ought to be.